do what it is, y'all. It's your girl, Black Pop, aka Soda Baby, aka Asuka, and you're now tuned in to Soda Talks TV. Welcome back. You know, I'm glad to be back from a much needed break, a very unexpected break that was very transformative. You know, some people know why I took my break, some don't. I don't feel like explaining it in this video, so I won't, because that's not what this is about. Today, we're going to be talking about why it's better for you to seek power and not happiness. Over my time away from making content, I really appreciate those times, because when we're caught up in the making the content, you think that you got to keep pumping this stuff out or they're going to forget you, and that's really not the case. And when you take those breaks, you get to see how the world is turning. And when you take the time to be in covenant with God, you get a chance to hear yourself better and see where certain negative influences and negative emotions are coming from. And in sitting back in my solitude, it made me realize there was a part of me that's just holding back the truth of what I was observing because of wanting to be a part of groups or invited by people that don't see it for me anyway. So it's like, I mean, what's the point? They're never going to see it for you. So you might as well just go in now, because I mean, it is what it is. And I realized once I accepted my reality for what it was, I started to love my life more, because it's like, for a long time, I questioned and tortured and judged myself about why I just don't have any friends. And it's like, when you become an adult, it's more important to figure out who you are than it is to figure out who to hang out with. And once I stopped caring to be a part of stuff, or when I would see certain things online, like, oh, one day that'll be me, whatever. Once I stopped caring about it, it no longer hurts. It wasn't even a thought anymore. And sometimes all you have to do is unfollow a couple people and take them off your followers list, because you're not that important. Even with seeing couples, there was a time I would be like, oh, one day. But when you say certain things a certain way, it prolongs the vibration of what state of emotion you were in when you say those things. So when you say one day, it only acclaims the state of lack and not having it, and not feeling like you alone right now is enough to have it. So in seeking power instead of emotional temporary happiness, you have to intentionally be indifferent to groups and or couples, so you can hone in on the good qualities that come with just you. And you standing in your power of oneness says that you have a mind of your own. You're not afraid of the road less traveled. You're not impressed by none of these. You're not afraid of none of these. And you're no longer going against yourself or your reality. And sometimes when you don't realize that you're a leader and you go into these friend groups, you forget there's only one leader in the friend group. You cannot serve two masters. So if you trying to get into friend groups with it's you going on their accord. They're not coming to your accord. You got to get on their time. So the friend group is not going to be that warm to you, because you coming into their shit. And 9 times out of 10, when you feel that indifference, y'all don't represent the same thing. Y'all don't stand on the same thing. And I'd rather not confuse myself about who I am than try to be relatable to I don't even know. They won't accept you because you won't conform. So that's a good thing, because that means I'm really being myself. So we're both right. Because if you buy yourself flowers and you walk around with them as you're running errands, you would be surprised at how many dirty looks that you get from people. And even people in couples. Why the girls give you the dirty look? Because you're reminding her about what this man is supposed to be doing and giving to her that she's not even getting. So it's like, people don't really want to be in love. People don't really do this stuff for the right reasons. People just want attention. They don't want help. They don't want to grow. They don't want to evolve. They just want attention. And I did that as a social experiment, and I still see how it's still relevant when I buy myself flowers, because I like to buy myself flowers to make the house look nice, whatever. But it still stands. And this is why I said a couple weeks ago on Instagram, give yourself your own flowers and the universe will start to appreciate you. Because what happens when you have flowers? They're like, oh, who's that from? Oh, what's going on? Is it the big date? No, it's me, because I deserve it. You know, when you walk around with flowers, people wonder, oh, what happened? What makes you so worthy of flowers? Because I am. And when it comes to seeking power and not happiness, we all know that with great power comes great responsibility. And with more power, that means more freedom. And when you earn that power, you realize that that freedom is not a right. And if you really do things step by step and you get it out the mud, you understand how power, freedom, and responsibility all go hand in hand, because someone is always watching you, watching to see who they can learn from and who they shouldn't be like. Because sometimes people go against you because you remind them of good qualities that they don't have. So they have to attach themselves to you, even if it's negative, because they need to get up close to you to learn your ways, to trick you out of your spot because it's better than theirs. AKA, they want the sauce. You can't steal my swag. And when you're a responsible person, you know that there's consequences that come with what you represent to be. And the people who identify with you look to you on how to deal with those consequences. And when you earn that freedom from being a powerful person, you see why everyone does not deserve to be free. You see why certain secret societies hides a lot of information from the masses, because a lot of people are not responsible and a lot of people do not have good intentions. And the way I was able to discover my personal power is just simply getting good at something. Like, genuinely get good at something that you actually like. Like, you have to have an emotional attachment to whatever you're pursuing. It has to really be real, because of that attachment, even in the midst of people making fun of you, you will still prevail. And this is why adversity is essential in creating legends. Because a lot of the times, people can pick up on how you feel about yourself. And when people can tell that you know that you're good at something, they don't want to tell you, because they want you to lose that confidence from not getting the validation. So don't be like those people who you know are purposely withholding energy that they want to give you. Those type of people will always be staring at you. They're always looking at you, you know? And it's like, this is why they say staring is rude. Tell somebody why you're staring at them, or don't look at them at all, because they like you. They just don't want to tell you. You have to understand what that energy is and pay it the same disregard If they withhold from you, you withhold from them. But don't be like them. Don't take that spirit. When you actually like something, tell that person, because you know you need to hear it. That's called stealing energy. You're an energy thief. You're always staring at somebody. Like, a lot of the times, men will stare at you a lot because they want you to come talk to them. And unfortunately, that's not the case. That's not how this works, baby. You know, they'll give you the crumbs and want you to do all the work of the dynamic of y'all two, and that's just not how it's gonna go. You're an energy thief. Someone who's always staring at you, but you're never staring at them. They're always on your story, but you never look for what the they got going on. It's like, why the you here, bitch? Always on my page, never double tap like me. You see, these are the days that we're in. You're literally a follower. That's what you are. And these days, you really have to separate yourself from these motherfuckers. I'm not like y'all. So I'd rather turn everybody off that thinks that they can get away with stealing energy and not giving credit. Just so that you know I see you. Because you got to let people know that you see them. Because they think they get away with shit, and they're really, really not. And the reason I feel like it's more important to seek power instead of happiness is because happiness is an emotion that you can access anytime. You know, happiness is the result of doing something right. And I feel like the best way to empower yourself is to challenge yourself to do something that you really love despite it offending others. And whatever that is for you, make it a part of your everyday life so that you get comfortable with the uncomfortable feeling of someone not liking you, so that you know how to deal with difficult people without catching a charge. Because having haters truly trains you to not care what people think. Because what is a hater? What is all a hater does? All a hater does is try to belittle you, try to make you feel unseen, like try to make you feel small. Or they try to make you feel insecure about what you're doing and make you feel bad about it to trick you out of your spot and take your confidence. And now the script is flipped. Now they think they're you. Because haters, they don't want to be seen as haters because they're too to really stand on how they feel. So they have to do it in a sneaky, secretive, mean mugging way. They want you to come over there and break their neck off for mugging them so they can be like, she's hating on me. Because eventually a motherfucker gonna get tired of hating on you before you get tired of loving what you do. Because in order to be a hater, you have to really sit and fester in low vibrational energy, an energy that is less than someone who is coming from love. Love is a higher vibration than a hate ever could be. So I will always trump every that hate on me. You know, and that's how you just have to understand that, because they have to fester in hate and fear and anxiety. They got to become friends with that shit. And after they realize they can't steal your energy because they definitely don't want to fight, they have to start spreading lies and rumors and inject people with hate to help them not like you. They gotta band together with other people because they can't handle you on their own. And they need the influence of other people. They need other people. They need to help people. They try to make people see what they see so they don't feel as crazy for all the lies that they made up. And after time passes and your character still doesn't change, it's like everything they tried to expose you for, everyone that they brought into this bullshit sees them for that. It backfires because they don't want to be left alone with you. They don't want to be left alone in a room with you, doors locked, no security, no backup, lights the out. Because when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. And I don't have to keep up with no or watch no to know how she really feels about me. Because when you trying to pierce my energetic orb, I have every right to make you feel like the piece of that you are, because you're trying to steal my energy. So you better fix your face when you're looking at me, bitch, because I'm never checking none of your shit. And you use that free energy that she's trying to pierce into your orb as energy to continue to stay a fly, bitch. Because at the end of the day, weak people, they need a lot of support. So if they're not believing themselves, they have to tell other people about it and make them believe so that they can believe themselves too. So now you have an audience of people that you don't know watching you, all on the accord of a person that you still don't even know. Because life is bigger than Instagram. This is spiritual warfare.